Okay, this is lesson 8, dividing polynomials. We've done adding and subtracting polynomials. We've done multiplying yesterday. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Today we're doing dividing, which is kind of a little bit of everything together. You are going to do some multiplying skills and some adding and subtracting skills just in dividing, okay? And the problems, they take a little longer, which means you have a little less homework, but you still have, you still have a lot of steps in some of them, okay? You have to know how to set it up and how to work it. And it kind of goes back to long division. Here's a little bit of previous knowledge you need. Let's say you had 50 or like 560. Oh, my bad. 560 divided by like 11, right? 560, or 11 goes into 560 5 times, so 5 times 11 is 55. This is blast from the past, like elementary school status, right? And this is your remainder of 10. You remember doing this? Yes? And then if you wanted to make it a fraction, your answer would be 5 and 10/11ths, right? Y'all remember this? Okay, so this is like the previous knowledge. That's easy, but now it's going to get really hard because we're dealing with polynomials, okay? So here are the steps. Okay, and we're going to work it out. Okay, I did a lot of annotating already, so. Okay, first one, number 1. X cubed minus 16x squared plus 69x minus 90 is divided by x divided by 10, okay? So the first thing I'm checking is to make sure everything is in descending order, and I'm checking what's the biggest exponent in the dividend. X cubed, right? And then it should go x squared, x the first, and then the constants. If there isn't something there, then we put a place marker with a 0. Okay? So, first thing I'm going to do is write it in as a division problem. So I'm writing this out in descending order very neatly, having enough spaces, and then writing the divisor. Okay? That's the first step. Okay? Then I'm going to ask myself, x times what is x cubed? X times what is x cubed? X squared. Okay, so write x squared up on the top. Then I write x squared times x is x cubed under x cubed. See that? Then I have x squared times negative 10 is negative 10x squared. Okay, follow me? And then, okay. X squared times x is x cubed, right? Yes. X squared times negative 10 is negative 10x squared. You follow me? Yes. And when we used to do division, long division, you would have to subtract, right? You'd subtract this number from this one, right? Mm-hmm. So we have to subtract this whole binomial by the other one. So I'm going to put parentheses and a subtraction sign. Okay, and x cubed minus x cubed is 0. It cancels out. Negative 16x squared minus negative 10x squared, or what's negative 16 minus negative 10? Negative 6x squared. Okay? That was the first step. Okay? Just focus. We're going to redo it over and over. Okay, watch up here. Then I have to bring down the next term. Okay? Looking up here. Back to here. X times what is negative 6x squared? Negative 6x, okay? So I put that up here, right? Because I have to think x times what is negative 6x squared is going to be negative 6x, okay? Multiply. Negative 6x times x is negative 6x squared, okay? Negative 6x times negative 10, so negative times the negative is a, okay? Negative 6 times negative 10 is 60, so it's positive 60x, okay? Then you put parentheses around it. Subtract it, okay? Negative 6x squared minus negative 6x squared cancels out. 69x minus 60x, okay? Or 69 minus 60 is 9x, okay? Then you bring down the next term, which is negative 90. Don't worry, you're going to have plenty of time to write. Just watch up here. Otherwise, you're going to miss it, okay? Just watch. Okay, to bring down to negative 90, then I have to ask myself again, starting from here, what do I multiply x with to get negative 9x? Positive or negative 9? Positive. So I'm going to write positive 9 up here. Okay. Positive 9 times x is positive 9x. Positive 9 times negative 10 is negative 90. Okay. Then I'm going to put parentheses here and subtract it. Okay. Following me so far? 9x minus 9x is 0. Negative 90 minus negative 90 is 0. So I don't have any remainder, right? You following me? So this is my answer up here. So I'm going to write it neatly. Exactly. Atta girl. We're going to do that on number 2. Okay? Okay, that was number 1. There's no remainder, so that was an easy one. That was easy, okay? That was easy. Watch me again. I'm going to play it and explain it one more time. Here we go. Watch. Okay, what did I do? First thing is I'm identifying the dividend and divisor, and I'm setting up the long division problem in descending order. So here we go. That's already x cubed, then I'm writing x squared. X to the first, and the constant term, and then my divisor, okay? That's the first step. Step 3 is divide. You have to go through this whole process. On each of these, you have to ask yourself, starting on the left-hand side, what do you multiply the left-hand side of the divisor with to get the left-hand side of the dividend? So I multiply by x squared, multiplying it across the whole binomial, subtracting it, we get our first remainder of negative 6x, okay? Then you bring down the next term. Okay, starting with the left-hand side of here, what do you multiply it with the left-hand side of the dividend to get, or divisor to get this negative 6x squared? Multiply it across, subtract. It's that whole repetition. Bring down the next term, multiply it across, subtract. You get a remainder of 0. There's no remainder on this one, but if you did have a remainder, step 4 would be if a remainder exists, leave it over the divisor. Y'all got that?
Yeah.
Okay, kind of hard, okay? Watch me do number 2. Number 2. First thing I'm checking is what's my dividend and my divisor, and it's x to the 4th is the biggest one, so there's going to be an extra set of numbers to deal with. Are there any missing terms? No, x to the 4th, x cubed, x squared, x, and constants are all there. So here we go, I'm going to set up my problem as a long division problem. Eyes up here, pencils down. I promise you're going to get a chance to write for like 5 minutes, okay? So I'm setting up my problem, then I ask myself, x times what is x to the 4th? X cubed, okay? And since it's cubed, I'm going to put above the other cubed areas. So it's all organized. And then I multiply across, x cubed times x is x to the 4th. X cubed times negative 2 is negative 2x cubed. Do y'all see that? Okay, then I have to subtract it, so I always put parentheses around here, subtract it. So x to the 4th cancel out, and then x cubed minus negative 2x cubed is positive 3x cubed, okay? Following me? So you have to know your integers today, right? Bring down the next term. Okay? Then I ask myself, x times what is positive 3x cubed? 3x squared. Positive or negative? Positive 3x squared. So I put that at the top, and then I multiply. Positive 3x squared times x is positive 3x cubed. Positive 3x squared times negative 2 is negative 6x squared. Okay? I'm going to subtract it, putting parentheses around it. Okay? 3x cubed minus 3x cubed cancels out. 2. Positive 2 minus negative 6 is? 8x squared. Attaboy. 8x squared. Okay? You have to know your integers, right? Positive minus negative. If you don't know these, do side problems, okay? Bring down the next term. Okay, what do I multiply x with to get 8x squared? Positive or negative? And I ask you that because you need to know if it's positive or negative. So we're going to do positive 8x, or positive 8x. Multiply it across. Okay, so I'm going to have to plug my iPad in. Otherwise, our lesson will be over really quick. And that would not be good. Okay, continuing. So, subtracting. And we get negative 8x. Bring down the last term, which is positive 8. What do I multiply x with to get negative 8x? Negative 8. When you do that, you got positive 16 there. Now look, am I ending off perfectly this time like last time? No, so I'm going to have a remainder. Okay, when I have a remainder, what do? We put it over the divisor. So I'm going to write the whole answer out. So check it out. I'm going to write the thing that's in our answer, x cubed plus 3x squared plus 8x minus 8. Okay, and then we have a negative 8, so I'm going to do it minus 8 over the divisor as my answer. And that's your answer. Okay? Kind of crazy, right? But once we do it a few times, it's all familiarity. This looks foreign to you. I know this is the first time you see this. Okay, because you don't do this in Algebra 1, or you didn't. I know you didn't, because this Algebra 1 students would flip out. Okay, so any questions? Okay, don't write yet. Now you need to talk about it, okay? So turn to your neighbor. 2 tell the ones about number. So number 3, here we go. Hey, your iPads are starting to run low on battery. I tried to let them die almost to get them charged, so they last longer. Okay, so we're gonna do number 3 together. So open up to Sari, please. Okay, and on this type of problem, you could do graph paper in your background, and you're gonna have to zoom, okay? Because that's what I do to make it fit. Okay, so you're gonna have to like zoom in and write it down. Okay, for example, you start writing your divisor. I'm zooming in, right? I'm zooming in all the way and letting it write. And that's how big I write when I'm doing this. And then I zoom out as I need. Okay, so we know our dividend is x cubed. So that's the biggest. You're going to write this down first. Everyone's working along with me. And then write your divisor in, okay? Okay, that's what you're starting with. Then we think, what times x is going to be x to the third power? X to the second. Good. So we're writing that down. That's our first part of our answer. And then we're going to subtract that. Oh, what is it doing? Stop that. Okay. Alright. Then you subtract. Then you bring down the next term. Okay, I'll give you a moment to catch up if you're not there yet. Okay, next one. So what do you multiply x with to get negative 4x squared? Good. Multiply it across, bring the rest down. Subtract, and you get a 6x, okay? Bring down the next part of your problem. What do you multiply x with to get 6x? Positive or negative? Positive. And look what happens when you multiply it out. Looks like that's a good sign, right? If you have no remainder, that's great. You're doing a good job. If you have a remainder, sometimes you're doing a good job, but it's make sure you did a good job, okay? And then you subtract, and that should be your answer. So let me just make sure you did what I did, so that way you're on task, okay? Make sure you're on task and you followed what I did. Okay, good. Don't forget the. You're doing the process, though, right? You're doing the process. What I'm doing? Yeah. Okay. Make sure you're following the process. Don't just copy, but follow the process. That's good. Yeah, if your iPad dies, just go back to paper and pencil. Nice. Good. 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 All right, good. All right, so that's number 4 or 3. Let's go to number 4 again. You could wipe off your screens, or let's go to number 4. Let's write this down. Okay, so we're writing the divisor first in descending order. Okay, so write that down first for me. And I'm going to let you start, okay? I'm going to give you like a minute head start, and then I'll catch up, okay? So I'll give you a minute or so, and then I'll put the answer down. So in case you didn't get it, here's the rest of the problem, okay? Just wrapping it up right here. So this homework's kind of hard, right? You got to really be careful every step of the way. This is where precision matters, because if you mess up one place, the whole thing's gonna kind of be all jacked up. So we want to make sure you do it well, and good luck. Okay, sometimes you'll have remainders. Don't be afraid of the remainders. If you have a remainder, step 4. If a remainder exists, leave it over the divisor. Okay. All right, we're gonna spend today and tomorrow doing this stuff, and then Tuesday we get back. We're gonna do some more, and then this is gonna be on your first test. So make sure you. First test is next week on Friday. We're going to get down on that Friday. All right? All right. That's the end of